Okay, I've got the blaze back out here this morning. I did make the changes I spoke about in the last video, and I'll discuss those after I get it in the air. The wind is coming out of the opposite direction of the sun this morning. That rarely happens here, but I'm much obliged for that. Alright, so let's see if we can get it in the air. Launching. I still can't believe how easy that is to launch. Okay, so I increased the expo on my ailerons again, and that feels pretty good. I increased the dual rate on my elevators again. I just felt like I didn't have any in reserve. And I moved my battery back a little bit. I'm probably, on the CG, I'm probably, I don't know, a couple of millimeters further back than where I was. Yeah, I like that roll rate. And I decreased the reflex on the elevons a little bit. Yeah, the ailerons feel a lot smoother now than they were. I think I've got those just about where I want them. Got a little less wind this morning than we had. I'm not as nervous on the controls as I was. Alright, so let's see what kind of trim work we're going to have to do here. It descends just a little bit. So I may have to bump that reflex back up just slightly, or I may try to move my CG back a little bit further. It seems pretty stable with this CG. I may move it back just ever so slightly and see if that takes care of it rather than... Alright, let's check our directions here. I have to come in from the sun, direction of the sun. Oh, I put some new skid shoes on it. Ooh, man, that had a little more speed than I thought I had. Don't want to damage my nose. Alright, let's make sure we're intact. Wow, I got a new worse landing on this now. Just wanted to make sure I didn't have any dirt and sand in the motor there. Okay, so I like everything that I'm feeling right now, except that it's descending, and it's descending ever so slightly. you know, at cruising speed it's straight and level flight. It's descending just a little bit, and I'm sure that's because I took some of the reflex out of the elevon. So I'll put it back in the air again, and I'll move that battery back a little bit further and see if that takes care of it, rather than introducing any additional drag with that reflex on the elevons. But nice handling jet. I don't have any complaints about this jet so far. So I'll see you in a minute. Okay, let's see if we can get it back in the air again. I increased my elevator a little bit more because it felt really smooth, and I could always use a little more elevator. And I did move my battery back a little ways. So, launching. Still descending ever so slightly. Oh, that's pretty good going that direction. Not bad power. I would always like more, but not bad. I think I'm just so close. I've got my battery pushed back about as far as I can and still get it strapped down, you know? That's handling pretty well. Except for the occasional gust of wind. Yeah, I like that. That's not too bad vertical. And now I've got some elevator in reserve. I like that. So I think I'm going to be happy with the elevator. I'm happy with the ailerons. It still feels like it's well balanced with the battery pushed back a little bit further. Sweet. Yeah, that's pretty well behaved, guys. I'll have to measure my CG when I get back. But I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready to create a setup file for it. Okay, we're good in that direction. See if I can keep it from pushing off the lane this time. We're good in that direction. Gliding. Oh, man. Glad it stopped before it got to the scrub. Okay, so let's see if we're still intact. Looks like my new shoes, my skid shoes, are working out really well so far. Awesome. Yeah, I'm really liking the way this is handling now. It seems really, really stable at, you know, at cruising speed, at slow speed, when I'm cutting the throttle back to, between 50 to 60% throttle, it still cruises along at a pretty good clip. Even at 50 to 60% throttle. At full throttle, it seems to have a pretty good climb to it. I can't really complain about it. I always like to have rocket ships, but it's definitely not a rocket ship, but it's very maneuverable and handles a little bit of wind pretty well, you know, even with that huge wing area that it has. It does feel, even with that 180 milliamp hour LiPo, it feels like pretty light wing loading. Okay, so I think I'm gonna try and acquire some 1800 milliamp hour LiPos this year and test those in a couple of my EDF jets. I think I'll be able to carry them. But fantastic flying EDF jet. I'll meet you back at the hangar, and I'll go over a little bit of the setup that I have on the radio and the linkage, and I'll be creating a setup file now and publishing my OpenTX model file. So I'll see you back at the hangar.
Okay, I'm not going to go over the setup on it yet for the following reason. When I first set this up, I was not sure about that reflex on the wing, whether it was just going to be required for launch or whether it was going to be required all the time. So I put it on a switch, and so the servos have an offset. Now that I know that the amount of reflex that I have in that wing is going to be required all the time, I want to remove that programming from my model file to make the model file as clean as possible. And also, so since I've got it on a switch where it can be removed, I want to make sure that I don't end up forgetting to activate the reflex on this wing so that, you know, it doesn't nose down on me when I launch it. So I want to get that removed and get the reflex manually set. That's also going to recenter my servos. I don't know if that's going to require me to adjust the elevator dual rate or the aileron dual rate. So before I take it back out again, I will do that. And then once I make sure that everything is still good to go on it as far as the way I like the setup, and I really like it right now, it handles exceptionally well. So far, it's the easiest EDF jet that I've flown. This is my 5th EDF jet. It's the easiest one to launch. It's the easiest one to land. And it is just as stable as the other two EDF jets that I have that I ooh and ah about all the time. So this may very well end up being my favorite EDF jet. But I want to put one more flight session on it before I give you my ultimate conclusion, because it was the second flight of this flight session where I got it all trimmed out and got it handling precisely the way I wanted. So I want to get a couple more flights on it to evaluate it now that I have it set up and I have the control surfaces all, you know, moving smoothly. It flies very smoothly in the air. It handles exceptionally well. So I want to go out and have a couple more flights with it, with this perfect setup for myself. And then I'll give you my ultimate conclusion on this jet. I did provide links to everything in the show notes. For people in the US, I provided a link to the vendor, the eBay vendor that I purchased it from. I did find this jet on the AliExpress site, but shipping from China to here with that vendor is very expensive. But I put the link in the show notes for those that are not located in the United States. If they're a lot closer to where it's being shipped from, then it may be just as inexpensive for shipping there as it is here from the US based vendor. So, but what I see so far, I really, really like. So stay tuned. I'm gonna put one more flight session on it. I've only got 6 flights on it so far, and only 1 flight where I had everything all tuned in on it. So a couple more flights on this EDF jet, and I will give you my conclusion. Stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the air.